Face down in his waffles, maple syrup dripping from his fake roll. Who did he see when he
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Lager Room Guys Craft Beer Show. That was perfect. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm supposed to be eating something, aren't I?
You are supposed to be eating something.
Yeah.
The logistics of me, needing to clear my throat in the middle of the intro was perfect, wasn't it?
That's not exactly logistics, but I'll give it
Well,
to you.
I
If you want to
just-
use it as a tie-in.
I needed to use it as a tie-in. I just figured.
Why is it? What are you tying in, John?
I'm tying it in because today is National Logistics Day. Happy National Logistics Day, everyone.
Well, thank you.
And we're celebrating National Logistics Day today because Mr. Samurai is indeed the logistics king.
No. Jester. Perhaps Jester.
Jester. The logistics jester. There you go.
Like most people in the logistics world.
So now, if you're also the king, would that make you the logistics jester king?
Ooh, that's good brewery. We've talked about them before.
I know. This is true.
So, if you've never had these,
What is it? Cumberland Farms
honey
cheese curls. Where is there a Cumberland Farms in Union City?
There's not.
Would you bring back
Actually-
Case from Rhode Island?
Actually brought back a bunch from Florida. There's Cumberland Farms in Florida.
Really? They skipped right over Jersey and went to Florida, huh?
Cumberland Farms used to be in Jersey. Long time ago.
Okay, fair enough.
They pulled back. Where I grew up in
They pulled out.
Ocean County.
They pulled out of Jersey.
Pulled out of Jersey.
They pulled out.
So, but when I go up to Rhode Island,
Yeah.
it's got to stop up at a Cumbies, because that's what they call them up there, Cumbies.
Cumbies, yeah, of course, yeah.
And grab at least half a dozen bags of them.
Sure, absolutely.
So good.
Agreed. Is it any other day today?
It is. Oh, that was loud.
And what was the other one we wanted to? What was the other one we wanted to bring up?
Oh, International Body Piercing.
There you go. Happy International Body Piercing Day.
So anybody listening has body piercings, go ahead, let us know.
Let us know.
No, maybe not some of you. Certain things that probably shouldn't be pierced. But
No, yeah, there's certain things that shouldn't be, and many of them are. But in any event,
But
happy
piercing-
International Body Piercing Day to you all.
Yes, for those of you who are brave enough and have that threshold of pain,
Mm-hmm.
good job.
Good job. You're cracking a beer. Before we get to your beer, why don't we bring our guest on?
Oh, I'm being rude and cracking a beer before the guest comes on.
Yes, you are being rude. So rude.
Yeah, well, no, I cracked one while the guest was on camera before.
I understand that,
Before
but
the show.
but we still have to be, we have to keep our manners for the show. So,
Oh, screw it.
all right.
It's-
Well, let's bring him on.
it's-
While you pour the
come on.
beer, I'll bring him on. Here we go. Welcome to the show. A favorite guest of the show, Mr. Tom Mulvihill. There he is. Right
There he is.
I'm going to beer whisper, beer evangelist, prolific good drinker, purveyor wisdom, and all around good guy. If you haven't figured it out already, I'm the guest they have on the show when they have no other option.
when we have somebody call up 45 minutes before the show and say they need to reschedule, enter Tom.
Hey, Tom.
But believe it or not, there are times when Tom comes on planned. So it's kind of a mixture of both. 2 weeks ago, he was on with John Starodomsky, and that was a planned show. So there you go.
John is amazing, is he not?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
John is my absolute favorite beer writer, beer reviewer. He does more written than video reviews, but nobody does a better review than the Brew Guru. I'm telling you what, he's the best.
This is great. Absolutely. Irene Williams says hi. Wilkins says hi.
Oh, hey, Irene, how are you? Irene watches a lot of my videos.
There you go. How are you, Irene? How's everything tonight?
That sounds familiar. I think we're going to do a conversation about some sort of liquor. Probably whiskey.
Possibly. Very possibly.
Can
There you go.
I pop a beer, or is it only Dave drinking tonight?
I think, I definitely need to pop one after today, and then I'm sure you want to have a one or three as well. Dave, what are you drinking since you already popped it? Just
You
show
don't
us
need,
what you're
and
drinking.
Tom, you do not need our permission. You know that. But,
Show us what you're drinking, Dave.
This town
This
lager.
town lager.
So our last show was
Yeah.
pretty much a carton love fest.
Pretty much. Yeah, we just drink carton all night. Yeah.
But I had another carton that I hadn't drank on the show yet.
Mhm.
This town is what's great about this town is one, it's a wonderful lager. It's only 4.9%. And you can only get it in Monmouth County, which is the county where Carton is located.
As am I.
As is John. So he can go to his local liquor store. And
I can go right over here and get it.
yeah, he can get it. I can't get it over there.
No,
Actually, I can't get any good beer over there. I'm sure I could probably get Dos Equis and Corona.
Probably. Most definitely. Irene is great. Thanks, Irene. Absolutely. We are as well. Tom, what are you drinking tonight? Let us and Irene know.
That just came out, and you guys, if you watched me over the weekend, you heard about it. New from Spoonful Brewing Company, their Green Goliath. The second year they've done this, they call it triple IPA. It's not really. It's 10%. It's just a great, big, beautiful imperial, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So let me pop that for you.
You drank that on the show last year.
I believe I did. Yeah.
Green Goliath. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Usually, I even have the proper glassware, as you can see.
Very nice. Beautiful beer too.
They're gone.
You ate them all.
There we go.
There you go. Right. I will be drinking. I actually just had this over the weekend. I was at the brewery hosting trivia, actually. That was fun. I do that every once in a while for them. But I left with it's River Horse Brewing. It's over in Ewing, New Jersey. It used to be in Lambertville. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Floatable Kolsch.
Oh, wow.
All right, River Horse Brewing Floatable Kolsch. It's a dry hopped Kolsch, clean, light Kolsch, and they dry hopped it with Nelson. So,
oh, nice.
This is the first on the show.
River Horse we've had on the show.
Well, that's the first. But is that a 12 ounce can?
It's a 12-ounce can. Yes.
All three of us are drinking
12-ounce cans. Oh, you're absolutely right. It is.
That has never happened.
That has never happened before. You're right.
Because 12 ounces, you don't find 12 ounces much anymore.
Not much. No, you don't. You don't.
I can understand it with Tom's beer because it's a beast. And you don't want a huge can for that.
No.
But I'm drinking a 4.9. Yours is what?
Mine is 4.8.
4.8. But in 12 ounces. But did it come in a 6-pack?
It's a 6-pack, yeah. 12-ounce 6-pack. There you go. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Nice Maine brewery on yours.
There you go.
I've got a New York State brewery on mine.
And I'm kind of representing Maine without actually thinking about it, subliminally. Subliminally.
I've got the Sloop Brewing's Pride Luau glass.
Very nice.
Nice glass.
Nice little tiki glass.
There you go. Very nice. Yeah, so this is a nice little beer. Nice little beer. Dry hop with Nelson right there. And put it right on the side there.
There we go.
Nice little hop graphic.
This one uses a boatload of Galaxy and Citra.
There you go. And Dave, you actually like this hop a lot, don't you?
I do.
Nelson, yeah, I love the Nelson Sauvignon. Yeah, it's rather subtle.
Yep. Dave likes it so. Dave likes it so much that he uses it in other facets of his existence too. So.
Yes, it is my youngest daughter's middle name, Sylvine, not Nelson.
Nelson. Her first name is Nelson.
Now that's funny.
But no, I like it. It's got a nice little vinous note to it.
Sure.
And I can see that working beautifully in a Kolsch.
Yeah. It's pretty tasty, this beer.
I've never had a Kolsch with Sylvine in it.
No. I've seen a bunch of dry hop Kolsch's lately. There's a lot of dry hop Kolsch's coming out lately, and Nelson's working nice in this one. So there you go.
Yeah, I usually do not like a hopped Kolsch though.
No. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. The dry hop one's kind of overkill. I don't really like it all that much. But this one's actually working. So that's where I'm going. Anyway, so Tom, how are you on this fine day?
I am good. I don't typically drink on Tuesday, but here I am with you guys.
There you go. I did pull out an extra glass after my beer if I want to crack a little of that right there. But we'll see where it goes.
Well, we may have to do something.
I am not drinking whiskey tonight.
All right, you can watch me and Tom do it.
No, I'm going to drink tequila.
Oh, you're going to drink tequila.
Always the rebel. Always the non-conformist.
Always got to be the nonconformist. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I've kicked into my my bourbons a bunch recently, so I want to mix it up a little bit.
There you go. There you go. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So, got a big weekend coming up this weekend.
Yeah, but I had a big weekend this past weekend.
Well, you did. Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's. It's
4th of July weekend coming up.
It's 4th of July weekend, and it's actually the weekend. It's 1st of July is Friday, and I actually love it when the 4th of July is on a Monday because July kicks it off on a Friday, so it's literally the 4-day weekend, right?
Yep.
So,
in a sense, depends on who you
I got to work until about 10 o'clock on Friday, so that sucks. But that's besides the point. So,
well, you're in the industry. That's your problem.
True story.
I'm in, as we know, logistics. So I'll probably kick off.
Oh, happy National Logistics Day to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I happen to work for a nonprofit, so I'm actually off Monday on the 4th.
Well, there you go.
After spending about 25 years in retail management and never having any time off, now I put the weekends and holidays off.
There you go. It's always a beautiful thing.
Yep. Well, Friday night going to see going down to the summer stage. Going to see Nathaniel Ratliff.
Nathaniel Ratliff, yes. We talked about that last week, did we not?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we did. Because I'm going the following Friday.
I'd be surprised if Tom has not heard of Nathaniel Ratliff.
Oh, I'm familiar, yeah.
Yeah, I figured you would be.
And the Night Sweats.
And the Night Sweats, one of the best names for a band.
That's right, yeah. The Night Sweats.
Nathaniel Ratliff and the Night Sweats. You know what, Dave? I would have actually, after we talked about it last week, I was thinking I would have joined you if I didn't have to work on Friday night. So.
Well, also, it's sold out, and resale prices for general admission are $100.
Well, no. See, at a sold-out show that I wasn't going to go to in the first place, I just go down there. Because, I mean, fair enough. Summer Stage is outside.
Yeah,
right?
you just hang out on the boardwalk.
They can't keep the sound in, in an area. It kind of travels out. So, I go down there, have a couple of drinks. You go in, I'd stand out. I'd hang out on the boardwalk, whatever, and walk around, have this, whatever, listen to the show. You come out, blah, 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 blah.
And what's really neat is the boardwalk, what Asbury Park did, is across from the summer stage, there is like a lawn that they built.
Yep.
That before the show, people will get there, set up their chairs, and you can almost see the band from there.
Yeah, it's not incredibly easy, but you can.
You can. If you get someone to hoist you up a little bit and they're 6'7", you can see the band. But so that'll
exactly.
be fun.
So Nathaniel Ratliff and the
Night Sweats.
Night Sweats. There you go. So what are you doing on Saturday or the rest of the weekend for that matter?
Saturday. Going to dinner Saturday.
I'm going somewhere with this, so I'm not just asking you your schedules.
doing something on Saturday. Got dinner reservations at a undisclosed restaurant.
There you go. Yeah, you don't want your fandom like showing up and like
No.
paparazzi.
No. You remember what the undisclosed restaurant was, John.
Oh yeah, I know.
So there's that, and then I don't know. It really depends upon the weather on Sunday what we do.
Got you. Cool.
What are you up to?
Well, I was going to ask Tom. What's your weekend look like?
John always saves the best for last.
Well, no, I'm just going to be through it, but I'm going somewhere with this. So just
I am hoping. I'm hoping and praying to do a whole lot of absolutely
nothing. There you go.
That's a good thing.
That's a good weekend.
The weekend before, I had that big festival I got to tell you guys about, and then last weekend, I just need a break, man.
Yep. Yeah, that's a lot.
Coming into the fourth weekend, I'm hoping the weather cooperates and I can just sit outside with my smoker.
There you go. Fair enough. Very nice. Myself, I'm a little busy on Friday. Might be barbecuing a little on Saturday. Might be, depending on the weather on Sunday, same thing. Unfortunately, the fireworks in Belmar are always on the Friday before the 4th of July, unless the 4th of July is on a Friday, then they're on the 4th of July. But I won't be seeing them because I won't be in town. So won't be seeing the fireworks in my own town. So, but there's other fireworks other days all weekend. So
yeah, we may head out to see the Macy's.
Thank you. There you go. It's always a good thing.
All we gotta do is jump a bus.
That's it. So in any event, the reason I'm asking this is because at some point might there be a barbecue? At some point there's What's the beers? What are the beers, beer or beers? If there's only one, that's fine. If there's multiple, that's fine as well. What are the beers that you guys enjoy the most, for the most part, on a weekend like the 4th of July weekend, like, a big barbecue summer weekend? What beer are we looking at? Tom, you go first. You're the
Well,
honored guest.
typically I look for whoever's got the best, Pilsner or Coles, something like that you could drink a lot of. But I always, in all honesty, again, I always look for, I want at least one big one like this, a couple good, some nice ABV. And then, you got to have some you can kind of relax. I need a handful of, 5.5%. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to change the question up a little for Tom, because you said you might relax, sit out back with your smoker.
Mm-hmm.
Every smoker worth his salt has got a timing mechanism for the wood, and it's usually a beer. Do you do this? Because that's what I would do when I had my smoker. Get the fire going, sit down, crack a beer.
Yep.
Finish the beer. John knows how fast I drink, so I'd have to do a second.
Yeah, so there's no way he's timing it with one beer.
No.
Well, I pop a beer before I get my coals ready. I pop a beer, and then I get my chimney set up. I get it lit, and I finish that one. And then I'm usually a couple 3 in by the time my coals are ready to go into the smoker, if that's what you're getting at.
No. See, I usually get the fire going first rather than drinking beforehand, because fire can hurt.
I pop one as I'm lighting the coals, and it's my time to go. It's my time to go.
Yeah, but if you don't want to be horribly disfigured by burns first.
Would anybody really be able to tell? I mean, look at me. Look at me. You don't look this way by accident, man. This is a lot of hard living and bad decisions to look like this. You don't get this by accident, man.
Here's the bad decisions.
Younger coworkers, I always tell my younger coworkers, let me be an example to you. Let me be a life lesson.
So no, I would do every 2 beers, and that would be my timing mechanism for smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, typically, I use a smoker more so than grill. I have a pit barrel out there that you can grill on, but it's really designed for smoking. And it's a great, simple system, because once you get it on there, once it's set, it is set. You don't check it again. You don't open the lid. You don't add any more coals. You don't add any more wood. Once it's in, and it's perfect no matter what you're smoking. If I'm doing ribs, it's about 4 hours. I don't even mess with it. I just sit there, watch it like it's doing something for 4 hours.
Nah, I had the old school, the grill with the smoker box hanging off the side.
Oh, that's what I had before this one. But
that's
great thing. The greatest thing that came out of 2020 for me, that second stimulus check, because that first stimulus check paid bills. That second stimulus check bought my pit barrel. It's the only way to be able to afford this some bitch.
There you go.
Nice.
So I did exactly what I was supposed to do with that money. I put it right back in the hands of somebody else.
In an American company, right?
Yes. Veteran-owned company.
Better yet.
Even better. There you go. There you go. All right. So, Dave, you answer the question.
Usually it's whatever. Depends on whose barbecue I'm going to, because living in an apartment, I don't host barbecues anymore.
Fair enough.
And if I'm going to someone's barbecue, it's usually just grab the soft side cooler, just start grabbing beers out of the beer fridge.
Mm-hmm. Usually
I'll throw some, what would be one of my beer fridge's shelf turds, because it's been sitting there for a while, and I'll throw those in there just to get them killed.
Yeah.
And there's always that one person, hey, what do you got in there? I got this here. Why don't you try this? It's only been sitting in my fridge for 4 months.
You're going to love this one. Trust me, this one's right in your wheelhouse.
It's a good way to clean out a little bit. But I'm with Tom. You want something light. You want something lower alcohol, so you can just keep going. What I'm drinking right now would be a perfect one this town, but from the same brewery. I always bring boat with me. So I've always got a boat beer at a barbecue. And also, like Tom, I'll bring a few harder ones in case there's some, every now and then you've got people you don't want to deal with. So you want to phase out a little bit and get yourself a bigger one, get yourself a little buzz on, which could be dangerous depending upon your proximity to them throughout the whole event. But
fair enough.
Everyone knows it.
Everybody knows it.
Yep.
Myself, Kolsch's Pilsners, absolutely. Lighter beers you can crush, you can have a bunch of. You know, I tend to like to, smoke something on 4th of July weekend or any barbecue weekend for that matter, obviously. But
And he's not talking a brisket.
no, I'm talking chicken wings.
Oh, I thought you meant a cigar.
No, yeah, of course. I like to. Well, yeah. See, that's later. That's later. That's after.
Yeah.
But I mean, during the day, when it's hotter out, obviously the lighter beers. Maybe something in the form of a goza.
Okay.
Nothing heavily fruited by any means. It's just something light, little briny, nice. But when I'm smoking or whatever, I still like to drink a brown ale when I smoke. When I'm putting anything, because I'm using some of it in the smoker as well. Nothing too heavy, not a huge not a 9-10% brown ale by any means. Something light, but and feather it in. Have one. Maybe like a timing mechanism. Have maybe 3/4 of it, pour a quarter in the smoker, or half and half, or something like that. But as Dave was saying, yeah, of course, later on, once things wind down, grill's of course still on, right? You're still cooking. Once the main meals are done, everybody's still. Oh, I'll have another hot dog. Yeah, throw one hot dog on, and then 10 minutes later, somebody else. Oh, I'll have another hot dog. Yeah, throw another one.
And there's always that person who showed up really late.
Yeah, exactly, right. But that's fine, because that's not work. That's just throw it on, let it cook. It's fine.
No.
I'm saying,
dog, I'm cooking a package.
No. I'm just saying, if there's you cook a ton of them, but later on when somebody showed up late and everybody's eating and everybody's full, or one person shows up late, hey, can I get a dog? Throw one on, and then 5 minutes before that's done, or 5 minutes after it's done and it comes off the grill, somebody else that ate earlier, all of a sudden, yeah, you know what, that smelled good. Maybe I'll have one too. Shit like that. But
the whole package.
Yeah. But in any event, I always, turn on the fire pit, even if it's hot out. It's kind of ambiance, it's not necessary for heat by any means, but I'll have my cigar, and that's when I'll either, depending on the mood I'm in, either bourbon comes out or a nice bourbon barrel aged, not even stout, just like a nice bourbon barrel aged barley wine or old ale or something like that. Something like that.
I love the barley wine.
Yep.
When I did smoke cigars, one of my favorite things to smoke with, and I would have it on tap on my kegerator, was Yeti.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And Yeti is just perfect with cigar, because Yeti is one of those I refer to as like a harsh stout.
Mm-hmm.
It's all roast. It's almost borderline creosote in flavor. And when you have a beer that's that pungent with a cigar, they start to cancel each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeti becomes almost a sweet stout when you're drinking it with a cigar.
It's got to give that a try. That's interesting.
It takes all the rough edges off of Yeti.
Nice.
And now, trust me, I love those rough edges on Yeti. That's a great beer.
Yep.
And every now and then, I want that kind of stout.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Yeah.
There you go.
Just like music, every once in a while you want to listen to something produced by Nick Lowe.
There you go.
Rough edge stuff. Eat some back every once in a while.
Nick Lowe, my God, Nick Lowe, Dave Edmonds. They were.
Yeah, see, his nickname was the Basher because of his low tech producing style. He liked a lot of rough edges, so they called him the Basher.
There you go. Yeah, Nick Lowe.
Teamed up with Dave Edmonds and made a band called Rockpile.
Rockpile, yep. About 79, if I remember right.
A long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Back in my youth.
Youth.
You're.
Yeah.
Very nice. That's great. Oh, I love it. But yeah, I mean, hey, who doesn't like to be? Who doesn't? Who isn't cruel to be kind? In
the right measure.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It's a very good time.
Used to rock and roll.
Mm-hmm. Well, it means that I love you.
Yes.
Anyway. All right, we've dragged that one out. I'm into my second beer because that was only a 12-ounce can, so I don't know about anybody else.
This up so I can go get it a second here. Yeah? You guys are ahead.
I'm getting ready to grab another here.
Well, in all fairness, Tom, what was your was the ABV of your beer?
10 minus 10. Yeah.
Yeah, we had 4.8 and 4.9. So
yeah, we got some catching up to do, buddy.
I had 2 and 1.
This is true. This
I'm
is
going
very
to
true.
take it down a notch, but I just want to have this one with you guys.
I got you.
What is going on there? Is there a cat?
That is Shadow. If you
Okay.
videos, you can see Shadow. Every time I
Just-
turn the camera, here comes Shadow. I swear to goodness, she's a
I hope it was a cat.
Yeah, I just saw this black fuzzy thing sticking up out of your crotch.
That's Shadow. Shadow's 15. Shadow, we got Shadow to the ice
There
stick.
we
Hey,
go.
Shadow. Hey, Shadow. What's up?
Shadow was abandoned, and we took her in.
There's
There
the
you go.
kitty.
What's up, Shadow? How are you?
Oh, cat. He just doesn't know she's a cat.
Or as a neighbor of mine talks to animals, how are you, Shadow? How are you today?
I
Did you
try
have a good day?
conversations with Shadow when I come up. How's Shadow today? You have a good day, Shadow? And I took her parts. I had a good day, Pop.
There you go. There you go. That's
You gotta do
perfect.
both parts.
Got to do. Well, you have to do both parts, man.
It's like
Absolutely.
conversation. My
Exactly.
wife walked around shaking her head.
All right.
So what's your second one, John?
My second one. I'm going to drink. I'm going back to my roots. There you go. No, I'm kidding. Common Roots up in Glens Falls, New York. Little Common Roots lager. I think I had one of these on the show before. It's really nice.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice,
That's a
easy
good
drinking
beer.
lager. It's a
Damn
good beer.
good beer.
So, had to have one lager on the show, but I'm having an ale, a lager, and then an ale that wants to be a lager.
I
Of course,
see.
I just had that, the Kolsch. So
Yes.
there we go. Poured nice. There we go. And what's your second one while I take my obligatory picture?
Oh, for me, second verse, same as the first.
Oh, you're Henry VIII?
Yes, I am. No, I'm just having another this town.
Another this town. Well, at least you're nothing if not consistent. So.
So far, I may mix it up after this.
There we go. All right. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
I'll cheers again when Tom comes back. But it's
Screw
pretty lager. It's very nice.
it is a pretty lager.
Here we go.
So we're both
Nice.
pretty lagers now.
Nice, easy pale
On the
lager.
lagering guys.
Wait, the two lager room guys are drinking lagers at the same time,
Yes, we is.
and actually nothing crazy about not crazy lagers either. Just
Nope, just straight up.
straight up.
I mean, mine, I've always thought this one tasted a little like PBR,
Fair enough.
without the bad aftertaste.
Well, this is just a Hellas.
It's hellish.
It's hellish.
Oh.
It's a hellish lager.
The hellish lager.
It's a hellish lager. What's a hellish lager, you ask? It's a hellish lager with jalapenos in it. It's a hellish lager.
Oh, no, you're going to have to do better than jalapenos.
Well, no,
to
of
make it
course.
hellish.
Well, yeah, but you're gonna put scorpion peppers or reaper
Yeah.
peppers in a hellish lager.
Shit, yeah.
All you're gonna taste is the pepper.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to it at that point.
Actually, you've got a point
Exactly.
because remember Cave Creek chili beer?
Yep.
That thing was undrinkable.
You couldn't drink it. No.
Oh,
No.
I love that beer.
Oh, I hated that beer.
I love it, man.
I like for the chili to be incorporated well into the beer and work with the beer. Cave Creek chili beer, it was all about that chili that was in there.
Sure. It's all about the heat. That's it.
It was just liquid chili.
But it was rather unique for the time, though.
It was.
It was.
And then
This is true.
you got Ghostface Killer,
Mm-hmm.
which was a ghost pepper ale.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little hotter than Cave Creek. And then you went another 12 ounce there, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I've got it's from Torn Label. It is Saison, the Golden Garden Saison at 7%.
There
Nice.
you go.
There you go.
But my favorite chili beers, and they're ones that the owner of the brewery has admitted he can't even drink.
Okay.
And it's a brewery that just got sold, as a matter of fact, and that's Stone,
Oh, wow.
right? And Crime and Punishment. And Crime and Punishment, there's Nagas in it. There's scorpions in it. There are some nasty chilies that they put in those
They
two
are.
beers.
Yeah. Well,
It
to your
is
point,
yummy.
though, we made the joke that this was a hellish lager. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be scorpions or reapers in a hell. It's a hellish. It's not a hell lager. It's not hellfire lager. It's a hellish lager.
Hellish. There you go.
So you put a couple of jalapenos, maybe a half of one habanero. Just get a little bit of the pepper flavor, some of the green from green pepper from the jalapeno, and then you got your bready Hellas, and you're good to go.
No Reaper?
No Reaper. Not in this. Not in hell-ish lager. Yeah.
A hellfire.
Straight up hell or hellfire lager.
Yeah,
A hell of your own making.
Exactly. By the way, cheers. You know what? It was either yesterday or today. I think it's today, but it could have been yesterday. So it's one of the 2 days. And I'm sure we'll say this again on the sports podcast tomorrow night. But since I actually just saw this about an hour and a half ago, cheers to the women of the All-American girls baseball team. The movie A League of Their Own was 30 years old. It's the 30th anniversary today or yesterday. So cheers to A League of Their Own and the members of the All-American League. There you go.
So many great memories and quotes from that movie.
Oh yeah, and of course the biggest one of all.
There's no crying in baseball.
There's no crying in baseball.
Got him. When he hits him with the glove, gets the kid. But then again, raise your hand if you're pretty certain that you have beaten Tom Hanks' piss record in that movie.
Oh, there absolutely
Easily.
Yeah. No, I've been. It was pretty good. It was pretty. That was pretty solid. That was pretty solid performance there by Mr. Hanks. But
yes.
No, I have. And Irene Wilkins said she loved that movie. Yes, I did too. We all did. Yeah, great movie.
So many good scenes.
Such a good movie. Yeah, they actually
that would be more than
SNY actually did. I guess it was either yesterday or today. Whenever that's what I saw. SNY actually did a
tribute
Zoom thing with 8 of the actresses from the movie: Gina Davis, Lori Petty,
nice,
a few others.
Probably didn't get Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell.
Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell were not there. No, it was the Betty Spaghetti.
And what about, oops, my bosoms fall out.
Yeah, right.
Like no one's ever seen your bosoms.
Right. Yeah, really.
Because anybody in this country hasn't seen your bosoms.
Exactly. Sweeney Murdy was actually the host of it, and he was the the moderator or whatever. It was pretty cool. It was like 15 minutes long, maybe a little bit longer. It was pretty cool. It's a good watch. Watch it.
Very nice.
It's on SNY on their Facebook page, SNY.
But loved it's in that. I can go home, give my wife the old pickle tickle.
There you go. Yeah, he had. There was a lot of good lines, a lot of good thing. I mean, basically an all-star cast, really. Not completely, but like the girls were. Not the girls weren't, but like a lot of the fringe players were all-stars. Like Gina Davis's husband was Bill Pullman. He was in one scene.
Two.
I guess. Yeah. But
when he first shows up, and then when they drive away.
When they drive away, yeah. Right. So.
Though that movie does have an absolute heartbreaking scene that I can't watch.
Oh yeah. No, you can't. You're absolutely right.
I have to leave the room every time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the scene when the messenger shows up.
Oh, God.
And that one, and the reason I can't watch it is because I know my mom had a messenger come to the house with that letter.
Mm-hmm.
So I can never watch that one.
Yeah.
But it's a great movie, powerful movie. I mean, they deal with a lot, and it's wonderful to watch Tom Hanks's character kind of grow up through it.
Develop, grow up. Yeah. Grow up's better.
I mean, in church.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that girl I forget what town it was in, her, she kept calling your name. It's got some great lines in that one.
The rumor is the character was based on Jimmy Fox.
Okay.
Okay,
fair enough. That makes sense.
Particularly like the way you scratch your crotch through, what was it, 3 innings?
3 innings, yeah. But and then at the end of the, I don't know if anybody listening or whatever, you knew this probably, but at the end of the movie, when they're at where they're playing that baseball game at the Hall of Fame or whatever, the women that were playing were members, were actually All-American Girls Baseball League players. So, but it was a good movie. It was a really good movie.
Oh God, yeah.
So, but yeah, there's no crying in baseball. That was the
big line.
That was the big line. That was the big one. So anyway, all right, gentlemen. Any barbecues this weekend, or just in general?
I live in an apartment, so no.
Going to any?
No.
Just Tom. You're gonna have your own, right?
I'll old thing. Yeah, I mean, I've already got the meat in the freezer. I'm ready to go. I got burgers. I got salmon. I got salmon burgers. I got steak. I'm all set to go.
Dave, road trip?
Maybe.
Mm.
No, I got plans Saturday.
All right.
I don't know if I can do that in 2 days.
We'll have to do it again.
Oh, and tomorrow we're going to dinner. It is Carrie's Aunt Nancy's birthday.
Happy birthday, Aunt Nancy.
I think she's going to be 73.
There you go. God bless her. All right.
You know any single guys for
her?
around that age?
Around that age, no. Older, maybe, but
A few years old, not too bad.
80 good.
Yeah, she likes Italian guys.
All right. Well,
And about Italian Germans.
I was going to say he's not Italian. He's Italian by osmosis, but that's about it.
I'm not touching that.
There you go. Anyway. All right. Dave, you know what? We were talking about this. We mentioned it before, but we're going to bring it up. Why don't you tell us about what you did this past Saturday?
Oh, Saturday.
Because I feel bad that I could not attend, and I really wanted to. And we've been talking about this. We actually mentioned it we talked about it last week on the show. But we mentioned it. I mean, we've been talking about this since like February or March that we were going to do something about this. And it wound up just being you, just the two of you.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us about it? Because I got dribs and drabs of it from you, and then of course, you know the what's the word I'm looking for? The
updates.
The updates throughout the day. Thank you. But why don't you give us the lowdown on what you did?
So it was something John and I had talked about. We had scheduled it. I can't remember the original date, but it turned out
it was in May originally.
So. Yeah, and this was going to be like 102 degrees that day.
Mm-hmm.
And so we all started bailing, and I was actually quite relieved that so many people bailed. I was able to reschedule it. It was nearly 90 on Saturday. So more people bailed. One person who was supposed to go wound up getting so tanked the night before that was impossible for him to. And James, I'm talking to you.
I was going to say, do not mention James's name. Just don't mention James.
Okay, I'm sorry. I should not have mentioned James's name. Please strike that from the record.
Right. You did not hear him say James. It didn't.
I didn't say James.
It wasn't James.
But what it was an event that John and I had talked about, and it was just kind of I wonder, would it be cool to do a tour of all 5 boroughs and hit a brewery in all 5 boroughs?
Mm-hmm.
And for a while there, you couldn't do it because Manhattan didn't have it. Well, no, they did. They had
Chelsea and Heartland.
Heartland went under, and then finally Torch and Crown opened.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw the opportunity to do it.
Chelsea never really had a tap room anyway, so you couldn't really visit it. So
they just had their beer. So we knew that you had to start at the brewery that opened first.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened to be Staten Island, flagship brewery.
Mm-hmm.
They opened at noon.
Mm-hmm.
So
when we say first, we don't mean like first, like before any other breweries opened like years, but just that day opened
earlier
first.
in the day.
The earliest.
The earliest.
Right.
So we hopped the bus over, took the subway down, jumped the Staten Island ferry, which is free. Which is great. And it's about maybe a 10-minute walk from the Staten Island ferry to flagship. There wasn't anybody else there. We did see a couple of Staten Island crackheads fighting, because that one of the things Staten Island's known for is their crackheads. It's their main export,
right,
and import too.
It
was great because on the way back in the ferry terminal to get back over to Manhattan, there were this one guy chasing another guy all around the terminal until finally someone got the cops involved and managed to wrangle both of them. We don't know what happened. We get the feeling the one guy probably tried to rip off the other guy, but there was a little bit of excitement. So we got back over.
Tried to rip off the other guy's what?
Probably wallet or something. We're not going to even go there. His body piercing.
There you go. His international body piercing.
So we finally get on the ferry, and the ferry no go. We had to get off that ferry and get on another one.
Ferry no go.
Ferry no go.
Was that a song by Gordon Lightfoot?
It's very possible.
All right.
So we get over. We take the subway up. We get into Keg and Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not Keg and Lantern.
No,
it's Torch and Crown.
Torch and Crown.
Right. Get the Torch and Crown.
Something and something. It was confusing. I got you.
So we get there, and Torch and Crown. I've always enjoyed Torch and Crown, but we were already about an hour behind schedule at this point.
Sure.
So it was like a one and done there. jump back onto the subway, take the long subway ride. After two transfers,
Mm-hmm.
so you got to get up to like Port Authority, then transfer, then get the 7 train over to Grand Central, and then jump. I forget I think it was the 6.
It would be the 6, yeah. So, yeah.
And it didn't stop at the closest stop to get to Bronx Brewing. So it quite a long walk to get to Bronx Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
And one great thing about Bronx Brewing is they also do empanadas there.
Very nice.
And the classic empanada they do, the meat and cheese one, is so damn good.
Interesting.
We wound up ordering a bunch more of those.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I mean, there's no unfortunately for you, there's no express trains on the weekends. So you were stopping at every single station,
except for the station we wanted to. We bypassed that. However, on the way back, we were able to get on that station. So it was trains were stopping there going southbound.
Mm-hmm.
So we took that back to Grand Central, back to the 7,
mm-hmm.
into LIC.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped at Fifth Hammer, Chris
mm-hmm.
Kuzme's place.
Was Chris there?
Chris was not there with the new baby.
Yeah, he was home with the baby.
Yep. I talked to the staff there about it. They said they don't expect to see him for a couple of weeks,
mm-hmm.
at least. So
he's on paternity leave.
Paternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a good boss.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Mary's home too. So.
They said they fully expected Mary to show up before he did.
Before him. Oh, absolutely. I guarantee it too. Yeah, sure.
So, then after Fifth Hammer, we went down into Brooklyn and went to Torst.
Mm-hmm.
Torst is not a brewery.
No.
Torst is a craft beer
Torst
bar.
is a destination that you have to go to no matter what, even if you're on your way somewhere else and you're passing there, you need to stop.
Yeah, I had to limit myself to 3 there.
You only did 3.
Maybe only been 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to a brewery called Ebbs, which is far from there.
Yep. Never been.
This
beer is really good.
Sorry,
I had to throw that in there.
It's a shame we ended there. They were not the best of the 5.
Gotcha. Fair enough. But
the best of those 5, it's hard to beat Fifth Hammer.
No, it's hard to beat Fifth Hammer, and it would have been good if there was a way for you to, obviously you would have had to bypass Torst to do it. That would have been the only way you could have gotten it done. But to get down to Strong Rope,
Well, the thing is,
you could have gone over to Interborough too. I mean, you could have done that.
Could have done that. We could have gone to 18th.
There's no trains really like from where you were at Torst. You could take a train over to Interborough, but it would have been a 20-25 minute
18th
walk.
Ward. I can never remember if it's 18th Ward.
It's 18th Ward.
But the walk from Torst to 18th Ward is not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's it's through some sketchy neighborhoods, but we walked about 15 blocks in the Bronx, so we're already okay.
Yeah, but it was also 3:00 in the afternoon when you walked 15 blocks in the Bronx.
True. At that point, it was about 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
So we're done with Ebbs. We wound up eating at the place just a couple doors down called, I think, Santa Fe. Tex-Mex place. Really, really good food. Do recommend.
Really? A Tex-Mex place was called Santa Fe? That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Right?
Where did they come up with these names? I mean, come on.
Maps.
There you go. So anyway, cool. Well, you know what? Like I said, I feel bad that I couldn't attend. We'll have to do something similar to that. Maybe mid-fall might be a good time for that. Only because
it's cooler.
It's cooler.
The only thing is you want to.
And when we say cooler, it's not just cooler, it's just the walking around and getting around too. It's cooler in the damn subway cars too.
Yeah, that.
That's a big part of it. Especially since you're spending more time in the damn subway cars than you are walking.
But you lose daylight a lot quicker.
Yeah, but whatever. It's time is time. Who cares if it's lighter or darker out?
Well,
it's just gonna be cooler at that point. So
yes, it will. So yeah, maybe we do a redux.
Mm-hmm.
And just call this one the scouting mission.
There you go.
Fair enough. You did the pre-run. You did the reconnaissance for future attempts.
And I wouldn't change the first 3 breweries. I probably wouldn't change the 4th brewery as well, because that was Fifth Hammer.
Right.
5th was the 4th. But I would probably change the 5th brewery.
See what the problem with this is, and see, this was my thing from the get-go. Yeah, flagship. You get to flagship. You go into Torch and Crown, of course, that's there, and you're getting up to the Bronx. You know, unless you want to go all the way up and do Gun Hill.
Gun Hill, I enjoy Gun Hill. I enjoy Gun Hill's beer more than the Bronx, the Bronx Brewing, but the empanadas. I picked Bronx Brewing because it would have timed out to be right around 1:00. Gotten us some lunch.
No, fair enough. Yeah, no, I get why you did it, and it makes perfect sense. And it's not like Bronx has bad beer; they have good beer. But
that's still good beer. Yes,
sure, absolutely. But my and Bronx it's going to save you time in travel too because of the the subway stops and everything else. So it makes sense. But my point is, once you get out of the Bronx, so it kind of dictated right there in the whole crawl where you were going until you got to Queens. Right now, you're in LIC and you're going to Fifth Hammer. But from Fifth Hammer, you got Big Alice's there.
Yes, you do.
You got LIC Beer Project is there.
Yes,
you got.
It's a little further away. Yes,
it's a little further away, but not much. Not that much. And there's a few other breweries right there too. And then, and obviously
you could get lost in LIC.
You can get lost in LIC with breweries, and that could be like the rest of your day. But the good thing about that is, depending on the direction you're going, you can go right over the Gowanus, and you go into. You get into East Williamsburg and Bushwick over there.
Well, the Gowanus, you're talking as if you're driving. You're not going to drive this.
Well, if you're walking, I'm just saying, depending on where you're going, because depending on where the subway's going, it might be quicker instead of waiting for a subway and then taking it and walking again. Just walk at that point. But especially if you're at Fifth Hammer, But getting over to go over to Interboro and KCBC, and then you've got the 5 boroughs done. But you spend the majority of your time in LIC and East Williamsburg.
And if you're going to Interboro, you might as well go to Grimm.
You might as well.
And then there's a short jump over to 18th Ward from there.
So it's kind of a lot of it right in that same kind of vicinity. At that point, you might even. My point is, you might even if you don't want to walk it, if it's a little too much to walk, you might even want to Uber a little bit. You
can Uber a little bit. We thought about that after Bronx Brewing, but the timing on the subway was perfect. So that was fine for us.
I would do the subways. I mean, you're talking about your reconnaissance. I would do the subways all the way back to LIC, and then I would be done with subways. I would Uber, walk, Uber, walk, and then that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then you could either Uber or walk and get yourself into the Park Slope area, and then you've got a lot of breweries there.
Sure.
That's where Strong Rope started.
Park Slope and Gowanus right there, yeah.
Yep.
Finback's right there, and you can get over to Red Hook and go over to the new Strong Rope location, which you saw from the ferry.
Yep.
So, anyway.
And there's a barbecue joint around there called Homeland or something like that. A guy in Bronx Brewing was really going off about it, saying it was fantastic.
Sure. There you go.
So, and not too far from Strong Rope.
Very nice. And Strong Rope in Gowanus or in Red Hook?
In Red Hook. And the thing about taking the ferry, I don't know if you saw, I actually posted a picture of Strong Rope from the ferry.
I did. That's why I said it, because you saw it. Right.
You can see it from the ferry.
Sure.
You can't get to it from the ferry unless you're a really strong swimmer.
Unless you swim really fast, yeah. My biggest question, too, right now is there any way that we can coordinate this one day, but actually get Mr. Whisperer here to do the crawl with us as well?
Oh, my goodness.
How would you survive on subways, Tom?
I'd probably be okay.
You just follow us and just bounce around.
I tend to run my mouth, so I don't know. I could get a fitness on.
There you go. Dave, did you call the boys for a party or what's going on?
No, I think Tom's got a smoker going, so they're here to.
There you go.
That can happen, man.
Gotta love it. Exactly. So anyway, all right. What you got? I was the only other thing I wanted to bring up was for this thrown together show based on a reschedulement, if you will, 45 minutes before the show, was this summer, right? I mean, it's summer. There's trips coming up.
It is summer.
There's trips coming up, right? People are going on trips, even if they're day trips or weekend trips or whatever. They're trips nonetheless.
Sometimes it's just over the rug.
This is true. Well, that happens every day, actually. But Tom, any beer crawls, beer trips, beer weekends, beer brewery like you did a few weeks ago when you
A couple weekends back, we didn't go far. It was about an hour and a half from here. We went up towards Pittsburgh, Kansas.
That sounds wrong.
To be away from home, but they had two breweries there in Pittsburgh. Jolly Fox. Oh gosh, I can't remember the other one at the moment. Jolly Fox was really good though. The other one had great pizza. That's kind of how's that brewing? They've got great pizza. And then I'm not going to mention another one that I visited because I'm going to talk about that one in my 3.
There you go. Fair enough.
There you go.
But as far as coming up now, I don't have a lot popping. My wife and I usually try to, the way my work is set up, there's certain times that are, I mean, I'm sure yours too, there's certain times that are better for a vacation. So I usually wait from now, and I take one usually at the end of September around our anniversary.
Nice. There you go.
Drop the H Brewing.
Drop the H. That was it. Yeah.
Drop the H.
Yeah, that was
Dave went and did Matt and Brian's research for.
Did a little quick Google there.
The beer I had there was actually pretty good, but the pizza, I got to tell you, that pizza was insanely good. It was crazy. It had tomato cream sauce, fresh mozz. Oh my God, it was insane.
I'll tell you something right now. One thing the rest of the country, rest of the world probably needs to hear. If you're talking to somebody from New York, New Jersey, and Southwest Connecticut, you can never convince them that someplace else you had great pizza.
Yeah.
It's where we are absolute pizza snobs. And the 3 states, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, every year pass off the baton as to who gets voted having the best pizza in the country.
Gotcha.
So we, when you say I had some great pizza, John and I both going, yeah, for Kansas, I guess.
Well, you know what? It's all relative, though. It's all relative, really. Is. I mean, if we have a slice of our favorite pizza and he has that, it might not measure up, but for out there, it's probably banging pizza.
Well, I've got a theory behind that, and the theory is that what you grew up with is what you think is great pizza.
Of course. Well, that's the other thing too.
And the reason New York, New Jersey always get voted greatest pizza is because we've got the highest population density. We're going to get more votes.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
no, that's true. But here's the thing, though. I mean, it is true. I'll say it like this: there's truth in the story, the
theory.
direct theory. Thank you. That it's in the water. Right, the water we have in New Jersey, and New York, and Connecticut.
Okay, so can I tell you about my pizza? Now, I've looked up. This is what this pizza had on it. And it had smoked mozzarella, roasted red pepper, a roasted red pepper cream sauce, brick oven roasted peppers, sweet Italian sausage. I mean, this thing was just insane.
I'm in already.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. And so John's talking about the water. When he talks about the water, he's talking about the crust.
The crust, right?
Yeah. So in New York, New Jersey, when you try a new pizza place, you always order a plain because you want to know what the sauce tastes like. You want to know if they're using good mutts. You want to know what the crust is like.
There's nothing else on it at that point.
And any time that I've been to a place that lacks in any of those 3, if not all 3, it's usually getting those amazing toppings on the pizza that then will put it over the top. And I lived in Rhode Island for a year, and everyone's heard me say it. The pizza there absolutely sucks. Right. It's awful. Oh, yeah. But I did have one pie. Every plain pie I ever got was something wrong with it. There's one that was close. Antonio's by the slice. Not too bad. But the mutz was flavorless. But there was one place, Fellini's, something like that. But they had one that was fresh mutz, but it was also feta, mushroom, roasted red peppers, and roasted garlic.
Oh, nice. I like that, yeah.
That was a damn good pie.
Well, if you put roasted red peppers and roasted garlic on anything,
it's going to be good, yeah.
You're good. You're good to go. But smoked mutz, Italian sausage, roasted red peppers, garlic. I mean, you had me at that. You had me at hello at that pizza, Tom.
So at that point, it doesn't really matter what the sauce is like. It doesn't matter if the crust is.
Yeah, as long as
okay.
As long as the crust is okay,
The crust
The pizza's good.
Well,
Well-
I'm into your neck of the woods, so I can't compare that.
Well, you got to get to our neck of the woods so we can show you.
You got to get up here. I mean, we're gonna try our damnedest to get down there because we want to, but you got to get up here. You got to get.
No.
Yeah, so a lot of places, what they've done to combat we can't make a crust like New York, New Jersey does, is they do coal-fired ovens.
Right.
That's a different type of crust, and that does not rely heavily on the water.
It's more on the it's on the flour and it's on the yeast more than it is on the water.
Well, and also their technique.
It's the technique of the rising of the making of the dough and the rising of the dough,
But also the cooking.
And the way they cook it too, yeah. And then you get a slice, you get a coal-fired pizza that's in that oven, and the undercarriage holds that. No matter how many toppings are on it, holds straight.
Yep,
you're good. You're good. So
right,
there's a lot to it. So this is not a pizza show, but we like to talk about our food here. So that's good.
Okay, so I'm going to my third. I'm going to one I drank last week. Going back to a hoi
poo. And hold on, Dave. Remind us, please. Remind us what hoi poo means in Japanese.
Not a freaking clue.
Really?
Yeah, we looked it up. We couldn't find it. Remember? Oh, that's right. It does mean whip, doesn't it?
Just like
We'll be right back with my third.
you got it. Just like Bix means
Beaks. Beaks.
Beaks. I said Beaks.
You said Bix.
I said Beaks.
I said Bix.
You heard Bix. I said Beaks. They're very close.
Last time we did this, when I went back to the tape.
In any event, Beaks means whip in Polish.
In Polski.
In
Polski is Polska.
Polska.
He's on Polish. I think I fucking know that.
This is true. Well, I'm gonna finish this pivo.
This pivo.
Pivo.
And we've just gotten into
And what is
Czech? Pivo is just Czech for beer.
There you go. It's kind of Polish for beer too, actually.
Yeah, well, Slavic.
Slavic, Polish, Czech, Slavic. It's in those Slavic countries, yeah. So
Yes, those countries with those sturdy gals.
I know. Stop busting my chops. You're being a real suka.
Zuka.
So anyway,
You'd be more stunad. What is
yeah. Well, that's me. I mean, you're the suka. I'm a stunad.
stunad?
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm gonna finish this and I'll have mine. So you're having another hoi poo.
I'm having a hoi poo, and that'll be my last beer of the day.
Yeah, I'll have one more too, and I'm gonna pull out the beer I'm gonna have. I'll show you. So it's one I have not had on the show yet. I'm shocked. This is the first time I'm actually going to drink it on the show. Actually, I'll wait till Tom gets back and then
I think I know what it is then.
I think you do. And next week I'll drink another different one.
Different one, but from the same people.
This is true. All right. Yeah, I'll wait till Tom gets back. I'll finish this beer, and we'll go from there. So, anyway.
No,
you know what we haven't done yet?
Well, we haven't done this top three, but we got to wait for Tom.
It's been almost 4 months, and we haven't done it yet.
Almost 4 months.
We have not put up the Facebook page to save Spite and Dival. Let's save Spite and Dival.
Oh yeah, did we give
restore the Dival? That's what it was.
Restore the Dival. Yeah.
I mean, here's my thing, and I talked about this with somebody over the weekend too. And if you recall, we were talking about Spite and Dival, like one of the best bars in the damn country for beer.
Yeah.
Right.
It
was, and it's gone now. The owner, when he came back out of pandemic, he decided to make it an Amaro bar. 26 years of being one of the best craft beer bars in the country,
and one of the first.
He decided to make it an Amaro bar. I don't know what he was thinking, whatever. And it's not as if it's his only place, right? And that's what he wanted to do. He owns several other businesses that are, liquor related. He owns Fettisau across the street, St. Anselm. He owns a bunch. So, but
right next door.
I have no problem with him wanting to put more Amaro in Spite and Dival because I like Amaro. I actually enjoy Amaro. And Tom actually did an Amaro show, and I joined him on the Amaro show.
I prefer Aperol.
We chatted about that. But my point being is he just completely, and now his beer list is, it's good. I can't even say good. It's okay for where he is, because a lot of other really good craft beer bars, you're not going to find anything really different. He doesn't have the bottles he had anymore. He doesn't have the
they're there.
no,
they're still there. They're just not on the list anymore.
Yeah, but they're not bringing them out. Nobody in there knows. There's like one person in there that gets it. I think gets it.
Yeah.
But in any event, so we wanted to bring that. We really should do something about that. Tom,
Restore the Dival.
Restore the Dival. So, Tom, what you drinking, Tom? What you drinking?
Dunkel from KC Beer Co.
There you go.
You want a Dunkel?
A Dunkel from KC Beer Co.
Well, I guess he decided he needed to drink a lager.
Munich style brown lager. They are known for their German styles, obviously. Yeah, we're taking it down a notch. This one's at 5% even.
There you go. That's a nice ABV for you.
I got to tell you, I almost had a Dunkel.
No,
I actually almost had a Doppelbock on the show.
Oh, Doppel. Yeah, I love me a Doppel.
Right. But I'm holding off. I'll probably have that next week on the show. I was at a brewery. I'll bring it up next week. We've actually had them on the show, but I'll bring it up next week. There you go. And he grabbed that too. Nice. So
go ahead and pour it, let it breathe.
Yeah, I should do the same for myself.
I'm
But
actually doing the same thing with tequila. Doesn't need to breathe.
tequila doesn't need to breathe.
Tequila is
So
good, man. It ain't
I'll just show you my third. Here's my third. I actually have not had this on the show yet, but
He has not.
here we go. It's right there. It's a Trojan Seahorse from Coastal Brewworks, right there. It is an 8.5% double dry hopped, double New England IPA,
Oh, very nice.
and it is it's brewed with Citra and Mosaic. Very nice. Hold that thought.
Go get a bottle there.
I dropped the stopper on this. Let's see if I can.
There we go.
But I drink them both together here.
I think I had some of this on a show a couple weeks ago, but
Yeah, you did.
We talked about that, yeah.
right. So it's like I said, an 8.5% double dry hop, double New England. It's brewed with Citra and Mosaic hops. It is dry hopped with Citra and Galaxy.
Nice.
So
All right, that's not
very, very citrus, passion fruit, little peach, little papaya.
peach. A peach and what a pear.
Big tropical notes. So I'll pour this in its proper glassware, and I'll show you the proper glassware after I take the obligatory picture here. Hold on for un momento.
Boom.
Oh.
There we go. All right, so here's the proper glassware.
Cheers, gentlemen.
It's actually not even close to the proper glassware because you don't pour an 8.5% double dry hop, double New England in a pint glass. But tonight I am. So.
Tonight, here we go.
I'm a rebel tonight.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, you don't have a Coastal Brew Works tulip yet.
I do not have a tulip or a tiku, so this is what it goes in.
Oh.
Oh, such a tasty beer. Such a tasty beer. If I do say so myself.
You should know.
So anyway, we have a comment. Let's see who it's from here. Doug Smith.
Hey, Doug.
Ed Von Trapp today in Stowe, Vermont.
Oh, those hills—they're alive with the sound of music.
There they are. There you go. I've heard that. And I've heard that doe is a deer.
It's a female deer.
Right. And
Ray.
is a drop of golden sun. Mm-hmm.
Hey, my comments, huh?
There you go. And Fa is a long, long way to run. I thought
In Boston.
Fa is a long, long way to run in Boston, right?
It's the Fa is the Boston
I'm going
Marathon.
Fa.
I'm going Fa.
That's FAH.
Going Fa aware.
All right. Anyway, so cool. You know what? I'm going to pour a little of my bourbon too. Let it breathe a little bit there, and I'm going to show you really quick. I dug this glass out, Dave. You'll appreciate this glass.
I know that one is very well. The Murder Shack.
There you go. Remember that? It was such a great place.
What a good.
Good memories in that, and they're gone from there now. They're in the new. Place.
They're on the exact opposite side of the town. Well, I don't know. Remember if they were in Woonsocket or if they were in Cumberland.
No, they were
right
in,
on the border.
they were right on the border of Woonsocket and Cumberland in Woonsocket.
In Woonsocket, and now they're in Cumberland, but the other border.
Right on the other side of the
all the way to the other side.
Right. Yeah.
So, and it's amazing that you can be in the same town in Rhode Island and actually be half an hour away.
Yeah. Right.
It's
because I mean there are parts of Rhode Island that you're half an hour away from the other side of the state.
Yes.
But in this particular burg, if you will, it's
the largest. I think it's the largest municipality in Rhode Island,
and it's also that there's also not a highway through it. So
there is,
but you're not taking it to get there. So that's why
actually you do, but it takes a while to get
to the highway and then from the highway.
No, it's actually right off the highway.
So
actually, you can see it from the high. Well, you can see the building that it sits across from the highway. If you run right behind it.
Yeah, okay.
It's right
Fair
off
enough.
the highway.
Fair enough.
It's right off the highway.
All right. Throw up Doug's comment here. He says, listening to you guys as I drive back. I'm in New Hampshire right now. Contract is amazing. They have a slow poured pills that is phenomenal.
Oh, they've got pills coming out of their taps that you can just like popping ludes or what is?
What was that?
I don't know. He said pills. I'm just making fun of his spell because he's trying to type. Don't type while you're driving, Doug.
Well, no, he probably was speaking while he was driving.
Yes, probably. That's probably voice recognition.
And the voice recognition didn't understand what pills meant. So that's not Doug's. That's not on Doug. That's on his phone.
That's on his phone. So he's being safe. We appreciate you being safe, Doug.
He's driving.
There you go. So anyway, all right. Hey, you know what? I want to talk about this for a little bit longer than our normal top three segment because there's a lot to talk about because of Tom on the show tonight and this being his home state.
Oh,
Mr. Whisperer.
Oh, Missouri.
Missouri. There we go. All right. So tonight's top three. Let's get to it now.
Hey Mo.
Hi Mo. Top three favorite Missouri breweries. Top three favorite
breweries. I thought we were going with beers.
No, breweries.
Breweries.
You want to do beers? Well, you know what? Look at your top three beers and just say the brewery. That's it.
But they're all from the same brewery. No,
they are.
No, they're not.
So anyway, let's start it with Tom because it's going to be a good one. So there we go.
This is really tough for me.
You should probably let Tom go last. Because yours and mine
we can do that.
Yours
and mine are probably going to be almost identical, if not damn close. So
probably really damn close, considering I think I only know 3 breweries from Missouri that are not.
I got to be honest with you. I've only had beer from 4 breweries in Missouri. Well, I've had beer from 5 breweries in Missouri, but one of them is definitely not going on this.
It's not making the list. No.
Well, I bet the 3 I've mentioned you've not been to, or you might not even have heard it.
This is
very possible.
True. Very possible. So who's going first, me or you?
I'll throw mine out.
You throw yours out. Go for it.
We'll start off with Schlafly.
Mm-hmm.
Schlafly's a classic.
They're a classic. They're one I've heard of. And of all of the 3 breweries that I've got listed here, I have had more of their beer than anyone else. And they're one of the few, they make one of the few pumpkin ales that doesn't make me retch.
Fair enough.
Pumpkin.
2 years of lists and painstakingly did pumpkin lists. You and I, Dave. Schlafly was on both of those.
Yes. So it's not a bad beer.
No.
But I will also mention my favorite beer from each one of these, since that's what I thought we were doing, and because I wasn't paying
Schlafly pumpkin. That's your favorite beer from Schlafly?
No.
Yeah, let me put that down. Here you go.
In 2014, I was at Poor Henry's Bottle Share. God rest its soul. It's gone. COVID killed it.
Yeah.
But someone brought a 2008, a 6-year-old oak-aged barley wine from Schlafly.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Woof, that was a fantastic beer. Absolutely. They had a barrel-aged program. Was Schlafly the one that had the Smokestack series?
No, that's Boulevard.
That's Boulevard. So no, but that their barrel aged series, There was one I had I didn't like, but other than that, everything else was just a home run.
Mhm.
So good stuff. Next one, obviously another obvious choice is Perennial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got to go with Perennial. I think my favorite that I had from them was Aria.
Okay.
Aria's straight up dry, sour, funky, and really sour. And Arya was my favorite character from Game of Thrones, but I had that long before Game of Thrones ever came out.
Mhm.
And then another one, the third one, Side Project. Balaton. Balaton is kind of like an American Creek.
Mhm.
It's a sour cherry. Beautiful, beautiful beer.
Yeah, very nice.
So
Well, there you go.
I'm sure you vary probably on one of them.
No, actually, my honorable mention is is the only different one.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. Well, I mean, there's nothing really we can do about it because I personally, I know of a number of really good beers and a number of really good breweries in Missouri, if for no other reason from Tom.
From Tom, right?
But I wasn't going to put them down because just of talking. I needed to, and not that I doubt his palate. I'm sure they're spot on, and I'm sure he's absolutely right. But I need I need to give a legitimate list here because it's the only beers I've had. I've only had beers from 4 breweries, and well, again, none of us are calling Anheuser-Busch one of the the breweries on our list tonight. Let's face it.
No Clydesdale beer.
Right. So I'll just go in reverse order. My top 3 are Schlafly, Side Project, and Perennial.
Mm-hmm.
Same as Dave's. And
probably the order I would have put them even though I didn't say it.
St. Louis breweries is what you mentioned there.
Pretty much, yeah. Schlafly, Side Project, and Perennial. And I had and I'll tell you an Urban Chestnut story in a little while, but we'll do that afterwards. But my honorable mention, and if for nothing else, for actually the whatchamacallit, like Dave mentioned before, the aforementioned Smokestack series would be Boulevard.
Let's see, I've had Boulevard. I for some reason I didn't even think of that one. So yeah, I've had 4.
So there you go. So,
but yeah, Smokestack series was probably some of the best stuff that came out of Boulevard.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Those are mine. So all right, let's get to Tom's because this is where I was going. I want.
Well, so again, this was tough. This would be like me asking you guys your favorite breweries from your neck of the woods. It would be hard to narrow it down. It would be tough to. I mean, you could ask me tomorrow, and my top 3 list could be different. You could ask me, Friday, and my top 3 list could be different. I mean, I can give you three breweries out of Springfield. I can give you 3 out of Kansas City. I can give you 3 out of St. Louis. I mean, it was really difficult. So what I did was, how I came up with this particular list was give you 3 that not only have great beer, but I might have a sentimental attachment, or there's a reason why.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not best; it's favorite.
So here I get.
In no way, shape, or form that you think these are the best beers in the state. These are your favorite breweries in the state. And that encompasses a lot of stuff. That's sentimentality. That's the vibe, the atmosphere, how you feel when you're there.
Yeah, that's
for you.
What it is. Yeah, I mean, if you were visiting out here, these are the 3 I would say. If you're anywhere near there, please hit these 3. And the first one I'm going to mention is Wages Brewing out of West Plains, owned by Phil and Amber Wages. And these 2 folks are just some of the most amazing people you'll ever meet. They put this brewery right there, smack dab in the middle of macro light territory. And they've made this small batch of brewery work somehow. A couple of their great beers. Well, the flagship is a beer called Whatnot. And it's basically it kind of defied styles, right? And they say it's not a cream ale, although it has corn. It's not a wheat ale, although it has wheat. But they do variations of it that have a blood orange, blackberry, strawberry, and a dry hop version, which is incredible. And they also have a great Imperial IPA called Land Bridge. It's at 7.8. Personally, I like a Imperial to be at least 8, but I'm going to cut it some slack because it's got 93 IBU, and it's just a great beer. And
you're going to give them that 0.2, huh?
As good as anybody's you're ever going to have. But it's not just the beer. Again, like we talked about, I mean, it's the space, right? It's the people. It's what you walk into. And I'm sure you two, like myself, have walked into some of the most places that have great beer, but they're incredibly pretentious and they're maybe not friendly. So, I mean, you walk into this place and they automatically make you feel like family. I mean, it's just an incredible place. Phil and Amber Wages are just great people.
Wages. Spell it for us, Tom.
Wages, Wages.
Just like one would expect. Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Wages Brewery, West Plains. I don't know why you'd be going through West Plains, but if you were, that'd be a must stop. Another one I know you've heard me talk about is Show Me Brewing here in Springfield. What I love about Show Me is it's something you don't expect. I had a friend coming down this past weekend from Columbia, Missouri. He says, I've been to a few breweries in Springfield before. What do you recommend? I said, I always recommend, if you've never been there, always go to Show Me. They have 12 beers on tap, brewing 10 gallons at a time. You're basically getting 12 test batches. You know,
Nice.
you never know what's going to be on there. I mean, you might walk in there on a Saturday and they might have a 3-beer turnover in the 2-hour time period you're sitting there. I mean, you never know what's going to be there, and you never know what's coming back, so you always want to try it. And I always tell friends, and especially that are on tap, you want to go there because you're likely to check in something that nobody else has ever checked in before. And one of the beers I want to mention from them, again, it's one you've heard me talk about, and it comes out usually around Black Friday every year. It's called Sleeping Bear. It is their India Dark, or some refer to as a black IPA. It runs about 10%, 100-something IBUs. This thing is a palate crusher. It will kill you, but it is so amazingly flavorful. And so the other thing about that is the owner, John, likes to get clever with his name. So our college here, Missouri State, it used to be Southwest Missouri, now it's Missouri State, but the mascot is the Bears. So a lot of his IPAs are bears. So that's the Sleeping Bear in the fall. You see, the Hungry Bear is sort of their version of Top Slam. It's that big honey IPA. It runs about 10%, 100-something IBUs. And the regular IPA was the Dancing Bear, ran about 7%. So they have various bears throughout the year.
Nice.
You think can barely bear it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, the other one I want to mention here, though, is another one of those great experiences. One I just visited. So my wife's birthday is May 21st. Mine is May 24th. So we took a little vacation around that period of time, and we talked about it earlier. We went out near Pittsburgh, Kansas, which is right. I mean, it's right near the state line of Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kansas. So we're right there. So we visited a brewery just north. It's actually in Missouri, Alba, Missouri, north of Joplin, called Beard Engine. And Beard Engine is one of the, again, it wasn't just that the beer was phenomenal, because it was just that the space is amazing and the people were amazing. The owner will tell you that his thing is traditional English pub ale. So that's what most everything is based off of. However, they do get out of the box a little bit. But that's that, and they've kind of got a steampunk vibe as you go into the brewery. Yeah. The decor is amazing. So he made a joke when I first got in here that he's the beard and his wife is the engine. She handles the business. He's the brewer, and she's also the mayor of the town.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, very cool.
Love it.
In there, and I had 2 beers, and I got one to go, and I think I might have been there an hour and a half, because I was just talking so much, man. It was just this great conversation amongst, the owners and the folks that walk in were so welcoming, because they knew I was the guy that had never been in there before. So, but I do want to mention a couple of their beers that I had. One was called Red Lock, 6.4%, 50 IBUs, a red IPA that was arguably the best of the style I've ever had. The other one, I got a little growler to take home, to take home, was called Boulder Dash, 5.4%, 26 IBUs, referred to as a Northern English brown ale, and this thing was styled perfect. I mean, it was just beyond gorgeous. But again, I mean, it's not for me. It's never about just the beer. It's about everything, the experience.
Right.
Does the bartender know what they're talking about? Can they describe their beers? Are they friendly? And in the case of all three breweries I've mentioned, you're going to walk in and not only have great beer, but you're going to have a great experience.
Well, there's something to that, Tom. We've had top threes before. We've talked about favorite breweries. Talked about favorite breweries in regions that John and I are more traveled in. And when we do that, we usually do preface it exactly the way you prefaced it. It's not just about the beer. There are places. One of my favorite places to hang out in Rhode Island, one because it was 4 blocks away from me, was Smug Brewing. Do they have the best beer in the state? They don't. Do they have got really good beer? They do. Is it a great place to sit, talk to people, meet people? Do they have a great staff? Do they have a great vibe? Yes, they do. And that could be everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it absolutely is everything.
Right?
More on that after the show's done.
All right.
But,
Places, though, I mean, again, anytime someone says, I'm coming to Springfield, what about Mother's? What about Springfield Brewing Company? What about this one? What about that one? I said, I'm going to give you one you've never heard of. Go to Show Me because you're going to have something different.
Go to where?
Show Me.
Show Me. Well, yeah, you've said that a few times.
Always go to Show Me because you never know what's. I mean, they got 12 on tap, and you never know what's going to be there.
Nice.
That's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I was there with a friend on Saturday. I had a Maibach, a double IPA, and a Scottish ale.
Nice.
I mean, I went around the world there with 3 beers.
That was another one I almost had on the show today. I'll have that next week. It's gonna be 2 big beers next week. I'm gonna have a Scotch ale and a Doppelbock. So next week's gonna be fun.
I've got to do some shopping to make sure I've got a variety because I'm drinking the fridge thin.
Gotcha. Well, I will be having one other beer next week on the show, and in addition to the Doppelbock and the
in the proper glassware.
In the proper glassware, but that would be
a Helles lager can go into a.
Well, no, it's actually Vienna lager.
A Vienna lager, sorry.
Vienna lager.
The Bentley of Vienna lagers.
The Bentley of Vienna lagers. Yes, there you go. Or the I was told to say the Rolls Royce.
Rolls
Royce of Vienna lagers. That's because the original. All right. We're talking about our I won't say that. We're talking about Coastal Brew Works awkward tan lines, and here's the can art for it right here. No, I put it up last week. It's a 5.3% Vienna lager brewed with 95% Weyermann Vienna malt and a little bit of Munich as well. So there's no base malt in it. It's and it was quoted by a person who shall remain nameless right at the moment as the Cadillac of Vienna lagers.
You've mentioned who said that many times in the show already.
Have I?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, in that case, everybody knows
it was Matt Patensky.
There you go. Okay. But what he wasn't referring to, like he wasn't blowing smoke. He wasn't saying, hey, you know what? If you love the beer, we hope you love the beer. But if you don't, whatever, we're good with it. We want your feedback, of course. But we think it's very good. We think it's very fitting the bill very well. But in any event, he was referring to what it was brewed with, right? Not how it tastes. So it was brewed with the ingredients to make it the Cadillac of Vienna lager.
Yeah, if Matt brewed it, though, it probably is.
Well, of course, I'm just saying that's what he was referring to when he said it. But in any event, I was informed. Okay, that Cadillac, the word Cadillac to describe something here, doesn't hold the water it used to.
Unless it's an Escalade.
Now, by the way, that's exactly what I was told. Unless it's an Escalade, it doesn't hold the water that I was told. It's exactly what I was told. But you got to remember too, this is a number of maybe fringe Gen Xers, mostly millennials. But I mean, that's a large portion of who's actually drinking craft beer. It's become that right now. So I was told to call it the Rolls Royce of Vienna lagers. So There you go.
But,
Small
but,
source
you, but,
manhole.
you, but you told me you prefer Bentley over Rolls Royce.
I prefer Bentley over Rolls
Yeah.
Royce. If I had the money and I had my choice of buying either a Bentley or Rolls Royce, I'm buying a Bentley. So, which means I'll never own either. But
As we discussed with the,
If I buy a Bentley or a Rolls Royce, I'd buy a '69 Mustang Fastback.
that would be a great car.
I would go with the '68 SS Chevy Camaro.
Actually, to be honest with you, I would buy the car, and I'll tell you why after I tell you. I would buy
The car from the horror movie.
I would buy Christine. Yeah, I would buy
No. There was the horror movie, The Car.
the car. Yeah, of course. No, the car I would buy would be a 1958 Chevy Impala convertible. It was the first year for that particular model Impala. What you call it? Fire engine red or cherry red, white leather interior, spoiler in the back, white convertible roof. That would be the car I would buy. And the reason I would buy that, okay, and I've seen several of them, is because that's the car. That was my father's dream car. Okay. And that was the car he always wanted to get. And he almost had, at 2 different times, he almost had one. And he didn't. So I would buy that car. And, if I'm fortunate to buy it while he's still here, it's his. But
because you're going to get it anyway.
Well, of course. But yeah, it would be that would be the car I would buy. But I would also buy a 1984 Porsche 928 S4. Purple. Burgundy, purple.
So that way you're not going to entirely become the U-boat captain.
No, not at all. In any event, there you go. So, all right. But anyway, so back to Awkward 10 Lines. It was actually supposed to be Ken.
But I digress.
I digress. Yeah, it was supposed to be Ken yesterday, but it's going to be Ken tomorrow. So it'll make its appearance on next week's show. But yeah, I'm shocked. I actually went back. I had Building Sandcastles on the show. I never had Trojan Seahorse, so I had to have a Trojan Seahorse today. Knowing that I was going to have an Awkward 10 Lines next week, I couldn't have an Awkward 10 Lines before I had a Trojan Seahorse on the show.
Well, maybe if you're a little more
that'd just be wrong.
prudent with the application of the suntan lotion, you wouldn't have that.
Exactly. But you know what? Hey, you know what? It's actually a pretty good pint glass, on her back there. So somebody drew it.
Yeah.
I did. So here you go. So it is an awkward 10 line. There could be very other awkward 10 lines, but they weren't going on the label for the beer. So in any event,
no, probably not.
Not so much. I think the most awkward 10 line I've ever seen was actually in the movie Police Academy. Was it 5 when they were in Miami?
You stuck with it that long?
What's that?
You stuck with that franchise.
You never saw that. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Could not go any further.
I think I only made it 3.
Yeah, maybe 2.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, though. No.
Oh,
no, I don't. Actually.
Well, I mean, Steve Guttenberg wasn't in it anymore at that point.
Yeah.
No.
It was somebody, I forget who the main actor that filled the Steve Guttenberg role. Not the same. It wasn't Carrie Mahoney or whatever. But it was that character-esque type thing. They were on a beach in Miami, and he took the sunscreen on Captain Harris, and he wrote "dork" on his chest in sunscreen. So when he woke up after falling asleep on the beach, he was all sunburnt except for the word "dork" on his chest. So
that's those people just have penises.
That is an awkward 10 line. Well, penis would be even more awkward of a 10 line, but in any event. So
the movie was PG.
Well, this is true.
Yeah, we were supposed to be PG-13, wasn't
it? Those movies were all PG and PG-13, yeah. So. In any event, but they were good. So, all right.
A few things King Patrol was in that was not our.
So, let's rewind a little bit because we talked to Tom about it, but Dave, you didn't go, and of course I didn't throw mine out there too. The rest of the summer, trips, beer trips, brewery, even if there were long weekends, or I know you and I have.
We've talked about what up. No, even on the show we've talked about what I'm doing come August.
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean your vacation trips. I mean just like like long weekends.
Well, no, August is a pretty much a beer trip. It's Asheville, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, long time shit.
But I was considering that more vacation because you're going down there for a specific special reason.
Yes, Carrie's birthday, but it's also very much a beer trip.
Mm-hmm. I just meant like like a long weekend or 2 days or going away overnight
Well,
or even just long, that kind of
well,
thing.
like Mr. Douglas there, we're planning to go up to New Hampshire.
Okay.
So that's and on the way to New Hampshire, there's a brewery called Trillium or something like that. You may have to stop off at. Hermit Thrush may be a stop along the way.
Trillium and Hermit Thrush are on the way to New Hampshire, but not on the same way to New Hampshire.
Nope. One would be on the way there. One would be on the way back.
Ah, very, very good. Very, very ingenious.
When you plan these things.
Look at that.
I'd love to get back to Rhode Island sometime this year. There's also you and I have, and I think I've told you this. We have an open invitation out to Montauk.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We should do that a weekend.
Yes, something in October, perhaps.
That works for me.
Because getting out to Montauk is the very end of the South Fork of Long Island. There is one road that goes
the longer
out there.
fork.
Yes, the longer of the two forks.
The longer of the two forks, the south one, right?
And there's one road that goes out there, and it makes a left turn at a red light. And you can just imagine how badly backed up that gets.
Oh yeah, you don't go anywhere near that in the summer. No.
So we've got an invitation out there, and if we can arrange it, if we can get this done, expect the Lager Room guys to go live over the weekend at Montauk Brewing because
very nice.
Yeah, the invitation actually there is an open invitation from Montauk Brewing for it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it should be a good time out there.
Yeah,
and we'll definitely go live there.
Maybe we'll get some fishing in on Jim's boat.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Works for me.
He's been killing stripers.
Mm-hmm.
He's been pulling in some monsters.
Nice, very nice, very nice. So, and there'll be a fourth and a fifth beer out by then too, so we can bring the entire catalog with us.
Let's bring some stuff.
There you go. The German Hef is out in August, and by then in October will be a coffee porter.
Coffee porter. Do we have names yet?
Of course we do.
Are you going to share?
If you want to, I will. I was going to tease and mention them when they actually come out. So, but
then hold it.
We can hold them. So, but nonetheless, it's going to be a nice, true German Hef. It's going to be really, really, really
banana and cloves.
Oh, big banana cloves. Nice, really, really, really good. Not over the top. Good, clean German Hef. And
Tom's finished his whiskey already.
I know he is. I've only taken 3 sips of mine.
I haven't even made it to my tequila yet.
The the coffee porter is actually getting. If you're familiar with Turnstile Roastery, it's local down here. Well, you know what?
You're ahead of us, Bill.
Well, Rook, obviously, everybody's familiar
with,
but they do a lot of work with another particular Monmouth County
brewery, which you live 8 minutes away from.
Right, exactly, and we don't want to step on anybody's toes. So there's another really good roastery. Is it Rook? No, but they're very, very great in their own right. And they're very big craft beer fans too.
I was actually drinking Rook this morning.
There you go.
The New Orleans.
There you go. Nice.
Such a good coffee.
But it's Turnstile Roastery. Turnstile Roastery.
What town are they in?
They are in West Belmar.
Belmar.
So that would actually technically be Wall.
What's going to be in Wall? There's something coming up in Wall.
Don't know. I've heard rumors, but in any event, they're big craft beer fans too, and they make really good coffee. And they roast really good beans. So that's going to be the coffee in the coffee porter, 6.5% coffee porter from Coastal Brewworks. That'll be out late September, early October. So my point is, we'll have 5 beers when we go out to Montauk. So
be nice.
There you go. All
right.
Cool. All right. Anything else, guys?
Well, I got to share what tequila I'm drinking here.
Please do that.
Because I've shown it, and one would think this is a Plata or a Blanco. Mm-hmm. It is neither.
What is it?
It is a white añejo.
A white añejo. Wow, very nice. Don Julio 70.
This is a lovely, lovely tequila.
Very nice.
It's one of the smoothest. añejos you're going to drink.
Now, is it a 52-year-old añejo?
Nope. You don't
So it
get
wasn't
50.
made in 70. That's what I'm saying. It's not.
No. I don't know why there's a 70 on there.
There's a 70th different.
It's the 70th anniversary of Don Julio.
Oh, there you go. And for the 70th anniversary, they made a white añejo.
They made a white añejo. There's more and more of them out there. 40% alcohol by volume. And
tasty little bourbon. This is.
Yes, this has got a nice oak back note to it. Got a little vanilla up front. There's almost a slight creaminess to it, if that makes any sense.
Sure, no, of course it does.
It's really, really a lovely tequila.
You know what? I mean, I got to be honest with you. I've had very good tequilas. There's Casamigos for not a high. I mean, it's a. I don't want to say it's not a high end tequila, but it's not a high end tequila.
Well, if you want to be a Clooney fanboy,
right? But I mean, he sold it a while ago. But it's actually not for the price point.
We don't do that here.
For the price point and for what it is, it's not a bad tequila.
It's not a bad tequila.
Not a bad tequila.
It's on par with Patron, maybe a little under.
I actually prefer it to Patron.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Patron fan.
I'm not a huge Patron fan. I don't hate the tequila, but
No.
I'm not a huge Patron fan.
Well, I'm having this one, a fistful of bourbon, which basically it's a blend of 5 different bourbons.
That is a fistful.
Oh, I get you. That's very cool. I actually, I'm saying that like tongue in cheek. I really like that. That's cool.
It's a rather spicy bourbon.
Very nice.
Very sweet initially, a lot of vanilla, some coffee. You might feel some toasted hazelnut notes in there, but yeah, there's a lot of big spice and oak in the finish. I get a lot of baking spice in particular, a lot of allspice, even more so than cinnamon. You might feel some nutmeg and clove as well.
Nice. Very nice.
And show your bottle again, John.
Oh, yeah. And this is the Balcony's Texas pot still bourbon. A couple weeks ago.
Before it is good, man. That's a whiskey.
It's a really, really tasty bourbon. Teeny little bit of cinnamon, nice oak notes, nice caramel, vanilla, more vanilla and caramel, but it's really, really, really tasty. It's super smooth too. It's really nice. I mean, I've enjoyed it every bit that I've drank of it so far, which hasn't been a lot because I just opened it on the show a couple weeks ago. So
I really enjoy those bourbons that have like that very slight touch of citrus to them.
Okay.
I've always enjoyed that. I've been lucky with the Blanton's single barrels.
Mm-hmm.
2 of the 5 that I've had, 2 of them had that little citrus note to it.
Nice.
So, and I think one of the 4 roses I had that.
I'm going to assume you prefer the wheated bourbon.
You would think, despite the fact that I love rye.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't pay. It's funny because I don't pay a lot of attention to the percentages.
A lot of percentage to the attentions.
Or for all intensive purposes.
Right.
Let's not revisit that joke.
No, let's not go there.
Tom, you would have loved that one. Was that the last show?
It was.
Because we were talking about intents and purposes.
Oh, God. Oh, my.
And how everyone calls it intensive purpose.
Intensive purposes.
Oh, my God. Wouldn't it make you crazy?
So then we got to the point where intensive purposes, is that like a very serious dolphin?
Yeah.
Intensive purposes, yeah. They were very intensive purposes.
That's exactly. So that's what Irene and I were
and we went down that whole, that was,
Now what you've done, though, is I've got to work that into a video next week. I'm going to talk about
intensive purposes. Yeah.
So, John, the comment that just went up actually that's why I remember that name, because we were talking about that.
There you go. Blanton's is my favorite. I usually add a splash of lemon to my bourbons. There you go.
Nice, sometimes I like to add a little bit of orange slice in there too, just for.
Yeah, you know what? I don't mind a little bit of citrus. It's pretty neat. It opens it up a little bit, almost like You know, depending on the mood, almost like a drop of water in a dram of scotch. You know?
Yeah.
A dram. Wait a
Of
second.
course.
Do you do 2 fingers or you do 2 fingers?
I do 2 fingers.
Same diff. Actually, I think this is probably bigger than.
Well, this would be 5 fingers. So
Yeah.
2 fingers like this, yeah. But I just do 2 fingers like that. I mean, it's not much more. But in any event, yeah, that's probably where you get it from. But yeah, no, absolutely. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Depends on the bourbon I'm drinking, though. But yeah, it's actually not bad in a wheated bourbon, though. You know, I've had some decent wheated bourbons, and just a drop of citrus in it would be really interesting. You know, I would think.
I don't go on my. I don't go on my way to find wheated bourbons. It's not in my.
I don't
mindset.
either. No, I don't really either. You know, I'm more about the.
Rye.
From anything else, yeah, I'm a big rye fan. Michter's Straight Rye is one of my favorite ryes.
Yeah. Well, that's a classic. There's
Sure.
missed it this year. Every year. Who are the people that make Doc's Hard Cider?
Warwick Valley Winery.
Warwick. So every year they do a they do a festival.
Mhm.
I forget what it's called, but it is a whiskey festival.
Okay.
And a Johnny Cash festival.
Oh, right. Yeah. They do. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Right. And one year while I was there, the distillery, oh God, I can't. Is it Catskills Distilling? I think it's Catskills Distilling.
There's a couple around, but I think it is Catskills, yeah.
Their bourbon was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Their rye was the best rye I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's a shame I didn't make it this year because I wanted another bottle of that. I may just have to drive to the distillery and say, hey.
Might have to take a ride. We might have to do, you know what? We might have to do a Catskills Distillery Drownlands Tin Barn Day.
Well, here's the whole thing about Tin Barn.
If you guys ever get near Kansas City, you've got to try Union Horse Reunion Rye. They're all next to Kansas. I don't know if they get out of Kansas and Missouri, but boy, you get anywhere Kansas City, man, you got to try it.
You told me about that when we were going to take the trip out to Colorado last year before we canceled it. But
rye out there, man.
You told me about that. Yeah, absolutely. Got to get out there. That trip's going to happen too. Not this year, but next year. So yeah, that might actually be something to hit. Going out anyway.
But what I was saying about Tin Barn, the problem with Tin Barn.
There's a problem with Tin Barn.
Their stuff is all fantastic, and you want to drink everything that they make.
That's a good problem.
No, because when you're at the brewery,
right? Well, they're less then.
You need to stay over because they don't make anything like below. God, what is it? I think the lowest alcohol that was on tap when we were there was maybe 8.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, all between all the stouts and the.
It's a massive IPAs. Okay, one of their flagships is a triple IPA.
Sure.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have 2 or 3 cans of pastry stouts from Tin Barn in my fridge right now, and I just don't know when I want to drink them. You know, because they're huge. I don't want to. I honestly, it's a 16-ounce can. I'm not drinking it alone. I'm just not doing it. You know,
these are big beers.
Yeah.
So that's the only problem is if you are driving, it's the only problem with Tin Barn. Otherwise, because the beer's so good, you want to drink everything, and then you can't see straight.
Mm-hmm.
Drownlands. Drownlands got an amazing space, historic place.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So we don't have to talk about that. One thing I want to bring up as far as the bourbon goes, Long Branch Distillery.
Yeah.
Been around a few years now. They actually released, I actually had it a week ago, or a little less than a week ago. Big Dog bourbon. Okay. It's pretty damn good. It was pretty tasty. Nothing just, flying out of the ordinary to you, but for a small batch, from a really, really, really small local distillery. It was a really good bourbon. So kudos to them.
That's one of the things I'm missing from Rhode Island is Uprising from Sons of Liberty.
Oh, and that was the one with the they aged it in the stout barrels, or
No, it's so, most of the people watching know that to make whiskey, you must first make beer.
Mhm.
Uprising's base beer is a stout. And it is the result is amazing. It's astonishing, and I love. It's one of my favorite whiskeys, and they haven't made it. They didn't make it through all of COVID. They made a bunch of their others, but they didn't make that one. And I haven't seen, because I follow them on Facebook.
See, well, you got me scared for a second that you the way you said that they didn't make it through all of COVID. I was like worried that they were actually closed. Like, whoa, I didn't even get a chance to have this damn beer at this damn whiskey yet.
They didn't make Uprising through it. They made the other whiskeys,
right.
But they didn't make that one. So I follow them on Facebook, and I probably want to time my any trip I take up there to the release of Uprising. It's such a fantastic whiskey. It's different. Mm-hmm. You actually do get some stout notes out of the whiskey. There's
nice. A little bit of roast.
There's a little bit of roast to it. There's a complexity to this whiskey. And don't get me wrong, there's many whiskeys I've had that have an amazing complexity, but not the complexities this has because of what the beer that it's based off of.
Yeah, I gotta find that. So I'm gonna have to get up there.
It's so damn good.
So, anyway, all right. On that note, any other information we want to throw out there to the nether regions of the internet?
The nether regions of the internet. You're getting into some scary places there, John.
Don't talk about my nether regions, man.
Well, that's a Friday. That's a late Friday night thing, Tom.
Yeah, goodness, man.
And on that note, Tom, I may be back before you finish one of your later shows on Friday night.
Okay.
If I am, let's do it tomorrow. Because I have a tomorrow that I want to open up.
Okay. Well, I don't think the same one, but yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah. You guys do that. I'm around, and I come on. I'll come on with my Aperol.
You come on with your Aperol. You're not. You're.
I am conscientious objector at this point when it comes to Amaro.
And it's just because of Spite and Dival?
Just because of Spite and Dival.
There you go. All right. Fair enough.
Has nothing to do with a distaste for Amaro. I'm not sure I can say that I've had enough Amaro to make any judgment on it.
Well, see, that was my thing too, David. This is the only one I've ever had, and it's a cafe Amaro, so it's a coffee-infused Amaro. So that's what in the video that John did with me, said he came on to kind of school me a little bit on what it was, because I had no idea. I've never had it for a regular. I knew nothing about it. I'm very clear about that. So that was nice that he came on there and talked a little bit about it.
Well, for me, Aperol, I didn't discover Aperol until we went to Italy.
Fair enough.
And spritzes, that's the thing in the region we were in.
Ah, gotcha.
Right, so it is. Why can't I remember the name of the bubbly? Prosecco.
You couldn't remember Prosecco?
Yeah, I just.
Well, at least it wasn't Moscato.
No, it's not Moscato. Prosecco, Aperol, and a little bit of soda water.
There you go.
It's an Aperol spritz. Yeah.
And it's an Aperol spritz, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And
yes. Aperol, I enjoy Aperol. I actually do enjoy Amaro a little bit better than I enjoy Aperol. But
I've never had it, in all honesty, Dave. I couldn't tell you.
Ever make a spritz out of Amaro?
I have not. So might not be something bad to try. He's the problem is I don't have too many Amaros right now. The ones I have, I bought them specifically because they're so good to just sip on.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I want to waste any mixing it with Prosecco and soda water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Aperol's not something you sip on, so.
Right.
I think I did it in the video, is that particular one I have, I've actually used it in place of a sweet vermouth in a Manhattan.
Yes.
And that makes an interesting drink. Yes. I love it.
So which brand is this?
Jay Rieger's out of Kansas City. Okay. Cafe Amaro. So cold brew infused Amaro.
Nice.
See, I've got I've
See,
got
there was a
coffee-
character a few years back on Law and Order SVU named Nick Amaro. They should come out with Dick Wolf should actually come out with a Nick Amaro. That's what
I've got a coffee infused whiskey, and I wonder if that would work in a Manhattan.
Why not?
Why-
It's a little bit much, though. I mean,
In fact, I have cherry chocolate whiskey that I use in place of the sweet vermouth, and that thing was insane. Now, the problem with that drink is that cherry chocolate whiskey that I talked about was 80 proof. So, I mean, that drink was rather strong.
But that's the thing, though. You're using whiskey to replace the vermouth in a drink with whiskey.
Yeah, see, but, I'm replacing flavors,
All right.
It changed it up a little bit. Yeah, I got to tell you. But it's very tasty.
Right. So, hey, whatever works. I'll try anything. I mean, at this point. Once, yeah. Well, and if it works, I'll try it again and again.
If it doesn't kill me, I'll try it again.
Exactly, right.
But I digress.
But the three of us digress.
Often.
As we do this video, my wife made me dessert.
Look at that.
You've been seeing on my channel or my page lately.
Yes, I noticed the hot fudge sundae you had.
I can't get it angled for you to see it, but it's actually a brownie sundae.
I see it. It's very nice. Very beautiful.
Some vanilla custard from a local custard place called Andy's here. I've got some whipped cream and some chopped peanuts. And
That's a beautiful thing.
Walnuts. Oh, my bad.
Walnuts. There you
go. And hot caramel sauce.
It's a work of art. I need one of them.
That's something we do here, but I'm not turning down dessert.
No, you can't do that. No, not at all. So, all right. Well, while you eat that, while you enjoy that, let's wrap the show up for today. On that note, we want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.loggerroom.com. That's LAGERROM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Logger Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night around 6:30 Eastern Time. And for those of you, close. Yeah.
Around 6:30, he means 7:15.
Somewhere in there. It depends. Well, if the guest doesn't reschedule, it's closer. All right. So
yes, sir.
There you go.
I'll give you closer.
Closer. There you go. So anyway, for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful 4th of July weekend.
Safe.
Be safe.
Do not blow your fingers off.
Do not blow your fingers off if your initials are JPP. Right.
Too late. You already done did
it. And really quick, Irene Wilkins said cheers and see you Friday, Tom.
Thanks.
We will all see you Friday. But anyway, enjoy the weekend. Be safe. Be healthy. Enjoy the weekend. And drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we will talk to you next week, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Cheers, all.
Hey.
Cheers.
Look at that. Look at. Can you see that?
That is beautiful.
That's a beautiful thing.
I'm getting hungry now.
A local place here in town. I guess they're in a few outlying towns, but they started here.
Yeah, no, they're in different states.
Oh, are they really? Okay. My wife says they are in different states now, but it's frozen custard. And
nice.
Stuff is amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So what I like to do is, so if you buy a sundae at Andy's, it's like insanely expensive. It's like $8-9. It's crazy. But what I do is I buy a half gallon of frozen. It's $10, which is a little bit more than your standard ice cream. But I get this great custard. I come home and my wife and I get 6 sundaes out of a quart.
Oh, beautiful.
There you go.
That's a beautiful thing. So remember that while you're planning your 4th of July menus this weekend, folks, and take Tom's lead on that one. That's awesome. So anyway, happy 4th of July, folks. Enjoy.
4th of July. Enjoy the weekend.
I thought you already signed.